Happy birthday, President Trump. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. Happy Flag Day. Happy Patriots Day. Oh my goodness, doesn't it feel like it's your birthday? The vibes are off the charts high. Nothing is going to stop our boss man from getting what he's got to get done. And I believe he's hinting a many things. So let me go ahead and just dive in, guys. I want to get this out before President Trump has his parade, which is at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But there's just a collage of different clips of President Trump and where he's been, and in terms of things that he had done just over the last few months, and of course some very just monumental things that he did with Hurricane Helene and with our military and people, and it's just been incredible. I wanted to go ahead and start with earlier this week when President Trump and Melania Trump went to the Kennedy Center to watch the opening of Les Mis, and this is what happened. Dan Scavino posted the song Do You Hear the People Sing, and it's from the play Les Miserables. And this right here was big because in the past, President Trump had posted this in 2023. The song did not end, but now the song does end, and it's very big and very powerful. And if you want to see the full clip on that, the link is below in the comment section. Public eye, but we know something big is going on. So there was a Minnesota state lawmaker that was shot today, and she had voted for, she's a Democrat, and her name is Melissa Hortman. She sounds very terrified after she spoke to the media that she voted no on health care for illegals. So this is what she said before she was assassinated.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
So Hortman and her husband were killed, and another lawmaker and his wife, they were wounded in a separate shooting. But the Vance, he was posing as a police officer. So again, he was impersonating a federal an officer, and he also had no King's flyers in his vehicle. And it is on Democrat lawmakers, so you know how this is going to turn out, guys. President Trump, through Il Donato, said Minnesota shooter was a crazy lib appointed by Tim Walz, had no King rally flyers, shot a Democrat who voted to repeal health care for illegal aliens. Sounds like another case of Democrat domestic terrorism to me. We've been warned about false flags that could happen. We've been given comms on that. Again, President Trump can't go at a rally, can't go at a presser, can't make a statement in the Oval Office and saying exactly what's going on, because this is a it is a military operation. Military will not say anything, won't give any hints, leaks, anything. This is what happened, though. This is posted by Nick Sortor. This is what happened in D.C. D.C. Agitators, they were, talk about insurrectionists, they went ahead and they went and broke through a barricade that the Capitol Police had, and now all of a sudden they got dealt with. They got arrested. And many of the agitators are former military as well, which is kind of interesting. This is a person that was tailing ICE officers, and then he got questioned, and they went ahead and they handcuffed him, but I didn't see the end of this, of what happened to him, what the result was. But they did handcuff him, and he says, hey, I'm not doing anything. And he's like, you are tailing us, you're following us. So anybody who's impeding on anything that is a federal or an ICE or a police operation, they are going to take action no matter what state that you're in. In Vegas, there are these police officers, and they were, well, everyone says police, most all of the vests say police. Listen to this.
Enjoying yourself?
You know, covering everything.
Nothing better to do?
Honor your oath. How about honor your oath, bitch? How about that? Honor your oath. Oh, there you go.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing.
You're supposed to get lost. This guy goes in.
So they were heckling law enforcement, and then they ended up getting arrested. And because they were filming it on live on their videos, all of these officers came and arrested those two people when she had said, she goes, I didn't do anything. They always say that they do whatever they do to law enforcement, federal ICE agents, to other people, and then then all of a sudden they cry victim, right? Back to DC, they go ahead and they're loading up the vans and the buses for these people, thugs. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. They have their stupid masks on and their locked arms, and the cops are just throwing them down regardless of their age, whatever. Then there's the conflict that's going on between Israel and Iran. Now there are the news is saying that U.S. military intercepted the bombs going into Israel, and there's a lot of, I'm just going to say this, and you can go ahead and decide, but there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and perhaps is that necessary at this time for the military operation to take place? President Trump through Il Donato posted a poll. The poll is, should the U.S. get involved in Israel's war against Iran? 89% of the people said no. President Trump through Il Donato said, every single one of my advisors needs to stare at this for 47 freaking minutes. Let's look at Q47. You can paint this is post by Quake Lady. You can paint the picture based solely on the questions asked. Be vigilant today and expect a major false flag. All right. Does anyone find it a coincidence that there is always a terrorist attack when bad news breaks for the D's? What is that called? Military relevant. How? BO could not and would not allow the military to destroy ISIS. Why? Well, we know why. How was ISIS formed? When? How has POTUS made such progress in the short time he's been president? Alice in Wonderland. And that's one of the first Q posts. So it didn't sign with Q. Now, pretty much everything in here is happening right now. We have plane crashing. We have a fire in Dubai, and it's on a skyscraper, guys. It broke late last night about 9:30, but there are no casualties, thank goodness. A Geopolitical journalist posted this: breaking, Iran targeted infrastructure and buildings in Tel Aviv used by Israel to store F-35 jets and submarines. Peel onion layers, guys. Peel onion layers. You have President Trump never does anything normal. Okay, he always does things. There's always something that's going on. I am going to let you go ahead and use your own judgment on this, because as you are seeing the bigger picture, you are seeing why the conflict is happening. And is it because, again, how the military does their operation? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. You have to do your own digging and discernment on that, please. President Trump, he posted this: our great military parade is on, rain or shine. Remember, a rainy day parade brings good luck. I'll see you all in DC. Misspellings matter. Remember, misspellings matter. So parade. So whenever that happens, you want to go on the Q post and you want to put that letter, either the corrected letter, the missing letter, or the extra letter. Sometimes he puts an extra L, extra P, whatever it is, and put it in brackets. And as you've noticed, we've been getting a lot of Q proofs, but President Trump, it was later, then he went ahead and posted, our great military parade is on, rain or shine. Remember, any rainy day parade brings good luck. I'll see you all in DC. Let me get to the misspellings in a moment. Oh my gosh, President Trump. He posted, so we have this, our great military parade is so on. So we've got the parade and parade. Happy Flag Day. This is a big day for America, DJT. And then he has happy 250th birthday, Army, U.S. Army. So let's go to this first one real quick here. Okay, so this one right here, where he puts in the correct spelling, parade, 1028, timestamp. Man, this is big. 5-5. Loud, it means loud and clear. He even said that at his Fort Bragg rally. Loud and clear. He mentioned law and order, loud and clear. Q plus. When then something is signed by Q plus, that's signed by our boss man. Okay, so that's meaning game on, game on. There's so many other posts, but let me get back on point. D class. So I went ahead and do a search. You with the misspelled word parade, E with it should have been an A. So you put in the letter in brackets when you do a search, and you come up with a bunch of stuff. This one here in particular came up with the letter in brackets for the A and also for the misspelled word E. D class. LP. Viva le resistance. Isn't that what's going on right now? Viva versus Vive. D or JC. Again, could be James Comey, could be many other things. Y classified by Intelcom at highest level. Define title, define role with Mueller. Exchange Shelters, very senior member. Q, Exchange Shelters, very senior member. And then this is the one VK always refers to 1111, but 1111, okay. Again, this is for the A. April, forgot to post this along with original post, April. And again, this is a Q post. Well, this is an Anon posting it, but the Q did post it. IG report, Sessions public attack, RR problem, seals broken, arrests. A1, again, A1, you remember Deborah, W, whatever, Wasserman, Schultz, whatever happened to her, right? Tarmac, Iran, North Korea, U1, FBI, DOJ. We still have a lot to uncover. Election integrity, Mueller, immigration bill, border wall, military start, big month, Q. Then Q posted, amazing coincidence, plus military start / wall. You have more than you know. Reason we are here more. Q. Now, I don't think we're going to see an actual arrest of Congress people today. Maybe we will. I don't know. But because that would be happening behind the scenes. But you just never know how Trump is going to work. Okay, so another A is, it says, future proofs past several today, one day, so is it going to be one day from today? Military border, keep watching the news, and it says April. I don't know what April, is it April a name, April whatever, Moab, mother of all bombs, Q. Q says, coincidence, another MSN narrative change upon the release of damaging news. Remember, they're trying to do the distraction. Yes, I understand that there's the Israel and Iran conflict. That's all you see plastered on the news. They're not showing what's going on at the military parade. They're not showing what's happening on the streets of our own country in America. Trace the background of the shooter, focus on father, 20 years, Q. So there's many things that Q is just hinting, like, are they just going to do everything all at once and drop it all in the next 4 weeks? And then we're just going to be like, whoa. And then it repeats the same one I just read earlier. And then it says military start, big month. And then it says Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, Google, big problems, Q. And then this is another one with an A. So it's, okay, Snowden, where are you? Russia, eyes on, you are now a liability. Helping Jack. So was Snowden helping Jack Dorsey? We will never forget. ES, Eric Schmidt failed. Where is ES? Again, I believe ES also meant Eric Schmidt, which is a part of Google. John Perry Barlow, define the end, the day of, this is what caught my attention. The day of reckoning is upon us, John 3:16Q. Another column is closing act, which is CIA, dismantled, impossible to clean, operations NSA, no such agency, Q. Again, the Israel thing and just all of that. Again, that's why I asked you to go to my thread and do your digs on that. Again, it's a military operation. So with the Israel thing and the clowns infiltrated with many nations, let's just leave it at that. Another Q post with A in it is, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to get down to the very, very towards the end. Towards the end, it's who controls the narrative? Why is this relevant? What is a spell? Who is a sleep? Meaning, are there sleepers? Dissemination, attention on deck. There is an active war on your mind. Be prepared. Operations underway. Operators active. Graphic is essential. Find the keystone moves and counter moves. They never thought she would lose. Snow White, Godfather 3, Iron Eagle, Q. Now, when you put E in brackets, it shows a Trump June 27, 2019 post. Consideration is being given to declaring Antifa the gutless, radical left whack jobs who go around hitting only non-fighters, people over the heads with baseball bats. A major organization of terror, along with MS-13 and others, would make it easier for police to do their job. A year later, Trump designates Antifa a terrorist organization. Scrolling down a little bit more, it's about irregular warfare, insurgency, and it talks a little bit about insurgency is the organized use of subversion and violence to seize, nullify, or challenge political control of a region. As such, it is primarily a political struggle in which both sides use armed force to create space for their political, economic, and influence activities to be effective. Insurgency is not always conducted by a single group with a centralized military-style command structure, but may involve a complex matrix of different actors with various aims, loosely connected in dynamic and non-hierarchical networks. To be successful, insurgencies require charismatic leadership, supporters, recruits, supplies, safe havens, and funding, often from illicit activities. Now I'm going to scroll down here. Where it says warfare, misspelling unintentional, on the move, Q. President Trump is letting us know people are going to Gitmo. They're going to the YMCA. United States, this is another E in brackets, com. United Airlines to Gitmo or Guantanamo Bay. What airline check-in counter is located at Terminal E? Remember that one post we saw with the big letter E? What is the location of the picture posted on board? Why is this relevant? President Trump said, Q, this is another E in brackets, com. It says, Patriots don't sleep. 40,000 foot versus necessary to understand, paint the picture, decrease altitude, meaning come down a little bit more. Don't look at the bigger picture. You can come close to ground level. We will not fly that high again. Higher the altitude, greater the risk of conspiracy. Many will not swallow. What is no such agency? A Q group, NSA. And then it talks about the social media. Think social media platforms. Who are the wizards and warlocks? Are we going to go there? Oh my gosh. What council do the wizard and the warlocks control? Think Snowden, Alice in Wonderland, understood. Snow White, understood. Iron Eagle, Godfather 3, Speed, meaning it's going to go fast. Everything has a meaning. Disney is a distraction. Senate and Congress equals puppets, not all. Power shift. For God and country, for humanity, Geronimo Q. There's a few things I'm going to go over here when he was talking about the sleepers, and when when Q is talking about here, Senate and Congress. And I'll tell you, you surfers and anons were on it here. Mark Atwood, he posted, the term per aid refers to a brand known for handcraft beaded bags. The per meaning for every, and aid, which means crown. Guess what was trending today? King Trump. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading a Tucker Carlson post here. Tucker is calling out warmongers. The real divide isn't people who support Israel and people who support Iran or the Palestinians. The real divide is between those who casually encourage violence and those who seek to prevent it, between warmongers and peacemakers. Who are the warmongers? They would include anyone who's calling Donald Trump today to demand airstrikes and other direct U.S. military involvement in a war with Iran. On that list, Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Rupert Murdoch, Perlmutter, I don't know who that is, and Miriam Adelson. At some point, they will have to answer for this, but you should know their names now. How big is that? Again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just sharing what Tucker is sharing with us. So big reveal. So the timestamp on this post here, this is a big day for America, DJT 948. Q948, extreme efforts to kill login devices. Now remember, somebody had sent me something, and it was something that Grok had responded to. These AIs, they use what's the public information, what's out there. They use that data in order to compile everything that they give you. Me thinks that the libtards, the really bad deep state swamp rats, they've been trying to interfere with the algorithms for that because some of the information isn't coming out very good. So anyway, extreme efforts to kill login devices, extreme efforts to censor, extreme efforts, dead cat bounce. Enjoy the show. Bring the rain. Q. Oh man, we want it to rain. And then Happy Flag Day was posted at 9:49 timestamp. Q949, trust the plan, full control Q. So if something looks a little awkward, remember that's for optics. Optics, again, they have to do their military operation. President Trump misspelled parade post was posted at 9:52 a.m. Remember about 10 minutes ago, I just showed you about what the Geopolitical journalist was posting about in Tel Aviv and what was taken down. And there were submarines and F-35s in there. It says, we have, come on, don't tell me this isn't a Q proof, huh? We have the sub, hostage released, 1,000 pieces Q. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, the corrected word parade at 10:28. Again, I showed this earlier, but this is 10:28, 55, loud, or Q plus. Now, again, 55, is that my fellow Americans also? He just can't put that out there right now because the whole world would go crazy if that ever came out. But this is 55 loud and clear. 55 also referring to Q55. I do believe through all his rallies, many of his cons, for all the many, many years that he's been out there as the public eye president since 2017, he's always been saying this. He just could not put it in the exact words, whether it's through hands, whether it's through comms, whether it's through this kind of information, this kind of comm 55. Q55, look to Twitter, exactly this. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. God bless. Man, the storm is upon them, and we're going to just sit back and we're going to watch what's going to happen. But what was really important and what really has helped through this whole riot season, and somebody had posted it and I lost the post, they were saying what the difference between what happened in 2020 and what's going on right now with the riots, it's because we have X that Elon Musk had bought. So we're able to put the truth out there, get information out there to the point where it squashes some of the riots going to Florida. It gives us the truth of what is really going on out there in the world rather than watching the whatever media manipulating our minds, even those that we thought were conservative, manipulating our minds and only showing selected feeds when we the people are posting what's real and what's out there. Yeah. We're going to see a lot of that stuff coming out. Some of you may not be able to stomach it. Some of you have already been digging in that and saying, I'm so ready for the greatness to come on and to roll in, right? And aren't we in that path right now? And aren't we down the final stretch? And we knew that they weren't going to just say, hey, go ahead and take over the government to the Republic, sovereign America. No, they're going to fight like crazy. Brian, it's a W8. Well, anyway, Brian on X posted had fun with chat GPT. Parade may signify a symbol of controlled chaos, typo as intent, amplified meaning from basic parade to a signal of destiny or luck, as stated, hidden message, storm, order, and transformation. We get the military out. We have the National Guard. We have ICE in all major cities. They are ready. A lot of people are going to jail. Hot Rod posted this. A lot of people they're going to go to jail. And guess what? They're going to wish they never threw that rock. They're going to wish they never threw that water bottle at a law enforcement officer. They're going to sit there wailing and crying like a big sissy baby. And we are going to sit back and enjoy the greatness as it starts to roll in. President Trump posted this. Nothing's going to ruin my birthday. Heck no, nothing's going to ruin his birthday. Man, he is on a roll and he's letting us know that they are in control and you are safe. Just try to prevent certain areas, please, but just be ready for what is to come, the false flags that might come out, and just to be ready. But get your fingers ready to start typing and putting out the truth because he is going to need that more than ever. President Trump through Eldonado, these lame no kings protests. We just want a king harder. And then the Duke of MAGA is, I love it. I just love it. You guys are so awesome on what you're doing and giving him that kind of support. He needs the crowd support. So keep giving him, the military, the NGs, the ICE, going to their threads, thank them, say thank you, post whatever memes you can, please. It is something that they truly, truly deserve, because if they go to their social media and they see that, it's going to make them fight even harder for us. And yesterday's Delta, remember, it was biblical times. It's going to be biblical. Thank you so much, President Trump. Thank you so much, our awesome military, our National Guards, our law enforcement officers, firefighters, ICE agents, our military puppies, dogs. Thank you so much. We love you and appreciate everything you're doing. God bless you. Happy birthday, President Trump. And happy birthday. I feel like it's our birthday too. So happy birthday to all of you. God bless you abundantly. Have a beautiful day. And the parade starts at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Aloha.